Hi Taurus, welcome to your mid-April 2021 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. So the big astrological news, is that we have a new moon in Aries on the 11th. So as I record this, it's tomorrow. And the thing about this is in my time zone, it's, I believe, in the evening. So it's Sunday evening. So if you live overseas, if you live in Europe and other places, it'll be on the 12th of April. And because this is the first new moon of the astrological year, this is particularly important as a kind of a new beginning phase of taking inspired action. So just wanted to put that out there. For you, this is going to be in the 12th house, the month before your solar return. So this is in the 12th house, even though that's supposed to be, the house of endings. It can be a place to really, this can be a time when you can really strategize about what you want to achieve in the next year, starting from your birthday time. So you're going to have that new moon in May for you. So okay. The heart of the matter is the Five of Pentacles. This can be a card that is associated with maybe some kind of negative energy around money. But you have to understand something. This is not saying anything about your actual finances, but about how you think about your finances. So this can be really a call to action when it comes to the law of attraction during the middle of the month. And I would say around the time of that new moon in Aries, because you have the chance to look at, the 12th house where this is occurring for you, and you still have planets there, is the house of karma, so past lives. And it's also unconscious memories and the dream state. Unconscious memories can lead to anxiety. So planets in the 12th house sometimes have that effect. And they can make people afraid, paranoid, or just not really in touch with things from a logical standpoint. So, in other words, it can trigger cellular memories, or which I would say can be past life memories, things that you don't have a conscious connection with, but they are still creating anxiety within you. And the reason that this is so crucial is because the Five of Pentacles connects with Mercury and Taurus, and Mercury is the way that we think. When Mercury is in Taurus, and I'm just talking about this, we can, talk about it symbolically, with this being the central theme of this card, there can be a rigidity of thought, and there can be an overly materialistic mindset. And this is one of the ways that people get caught up in the matrix, is when they are lured by things of a material nature. So the point being that if you are really committed to your happiness and your growth and your freedom, even if you're in a situation where they're saying, oh, you can make all this money and you can, have this fancy job title, you're not going to just automatically do something like that, because you want to know, okay, how much autonomy do I have? how much freedom do I have? Autonomy meaning that you can act independently, and freedom to me is what I'm referring to is that if you want to take time off, you're not going to have to go through you're going to have to jump through hoops. There's a corporate culture, if this is like a corporate environment, of, nurturing a person's self-care and things like that versus just trying to get them to overwork and work overtime, all that kind of thing. So in the past position, we have the Queen of Wands. This is a card of female empowerment, I feel. But even if you're a male, it can be emotional intelligence to me that is backed with a backbone. So, understanding why you may have agreed to things in the past that haven't served you. And the Five of Pentacles can be lack consciousness. Now, of course, this is a card that can relate to unemployment. So even if somebody finds themselves unemployed, they can still tell themselves different things about their situation. They don't have to regurgitate or even promote this idea that they are in some kind of a bad state of affairs. And a lot of times people, they get triggered by these kinds of things and they allow themselves to go down a path that is just increasingly negative. And, in all areas of life, there are always times when something happens that we don't want to happen. So if somebody becomes unemployed, you can say, okay, I'm unemployed. Now, what are the upsides of this? Oh, okay, well, I have some time off and I'm getting unemployment, so I have paid. It's like having a vacation. We look for the silver lining, or just, it doesn't even have to be a silver lining. It can be a blessing in disguise altogether. And it's not about denying anything. It's about not awfulizing a situation to the point where your vibration is getting lower and lower and you're feeling more and more disempowered and without as much hope. And that kind of thing can leave a person very vulnerable. The interesting thing, and I think this is the important takeaway from this is a spiritual position. The Magician card speaks about co-creating your reality. And it can be on both sides of things. It's like saying, okay, now you have the universe is giving you this gift of the time where you can, create something that you will feel good about. And that you can call your own shots with. And that is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is a sense of being self-reliant. And, when you work for somebody else, they can fire you. If you work for yourself, you can't fire yourself. You can choose not to work altogether, but you don't fire yourself. So it's a totally different vibe. You're not working for a weekly paycheck, and that may feel scary for a fixed sign like Taurus, but the flip side of that is that there's no limit to what you can make. Now, it's true that it might be unpredictable, but unpredictability works both ways. So there's always a better feeling thought, and I'm taking that straight from Abraham Hicks. You can always choose a better feeling thought. Doesn't mean that you're spiritually bypassing the situation and you're in denial over it. It's being very aware of what your thought process is and seeing where it's leading you, which can be with the Five of Pentacles, to this feeling of being downtrodden. And again, this has nothing to do with the dollar amount in the bank. It has to do with your own comfort level, because there are people who have more than enough money, but if they lose their job and they have to live off of their savings, they feel like they are somehow impoverished. And they have an overreaction to things like that. What crosses you is the Ten of Swords. In the upright position, this can be a card of the worst of a situation being over with. So, when I was talking about the silver lining situation, if you were at a job that you hated and you were let go, it might be a little bit unnerving just because you didn't expect it. But when it finally sinks in, you're like, wow, I dreaded every morning waking up and going to that job. And now the universe has, removed it from me, since I didn't have the guts to do it myself and just quit. Wow, that's amazing. So the universe is working on my side after all. And it can feel like, okay, I've resolved this situation. The worst is over because I no longer have to be someplace that I don't want to be. However, in this particular scenario, since I'm reading it like a reverse card in a negative sense, actually, I think that the upright position, I just checked because I know that sometimes when a card is challenging in the upright position, the reversed position is actually the more positive one. So I drew, when I draw this card, it really doesn't matter if I draw it upright or not. I actually drew it upright, but I'm reading it as a situation that is challenged. And so, this would be more of the upright position, and it's about not being able to let go of something and move forward. The number 10 is a number of completion of a cycle. And even if something has been very negative for you, you may still be afraid to let go of it. And there are different reasons for that. One of them being that the person may be kind of comfortable with whatever has happened, even if it's been on the negative side. And the idea that a certain person, place, or thing will not be in your reality anymore, maybe you might feel very threatened about that, even if you have been suffering with a particular relationship, or it could be a job that you don't like. And, when that has been removed, then you have to be happy, right? Because you were telling yourself that this was what was making you unhappy. It's a very interesting phenomenon that occurs. And so the bottom line is that you have to let go when things are clearly not working out, and not just hold on to them to avoid change. What is coming in is represented by the Ace of Swords. To me, this is about gaining clarity of mind. And so with the Ten of Swords, especially with a personal relationship, but no, this could manifest in the workplace too, to tell you the truth, very easily. The betrayal of by somebody can be very painful to admit to yourself, because there may be embarrassment or shame. There may be anger that has arisen from somebody, telling you things to make you, in order to manipulate you in some way into doing their bidding, doing what they wanted you to do. And you may feel like you were taken advantage of, you were deceived. And all of those emotions may be 100% valid, but they don't come very easily for people to admit to. A lot of people cannot admit when they have been lied to and things like that. Their pride gets the best of them or what have you. So the Ace of Swords is about seeing through, cutting through the illusion of something. And when a person does that, they're able to move forward and start something new very easily. Somebody who still has unfinished business can feel like they have their energy like split between one situation and the next, and it's like they're being pulled rather thin, or kind of divided like that. So it's very important that you see a situation for what it is, not try to sugarcoat it, not try to act like it's not that big of a deal, and then you're able to fully detach from it and move forward, because the Ace of Swords can be, new beginnings for sure. And I picked an outcome card. It was the Three of Swords. That's why I picked an additional card. And this is a card of heartbreak. So you did get a couple of difficult cards. They were both swords. So the air signs are connected to swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you're with somebody, or this is a recent ex with this sign, maybe this is describing the relationship and the problems in the relationship. And the key is not to become like this. In other words, if somebody betrays you, let's say, you're with somebody and they actually cheat on you. They straight up cheat on you. The point is that if you tell yourself that that means that you're undesirable or that you're not lovable, maybe you don't say it straight like that, but you just are thinking that in your own convoluted way. Basically, what you're saying is that that person is in the right. And, that person may have done the stupidest thing they've ever done in their life by walking away from you or by cheating on you, because they didn't realize how good they had it. And maybe they don't feel worthy of a beautiful relationship. Maybe they are more attracted to people who are cheaters. And because then they can feel like it can reinforce their negative self-concept. So it's something that you have to develop a very confident, I don't mean like in an outward way, but an inner confidence where no matter what somebody else does, it doesn't shake your ability to feel that you are deserving of the best in life, including the relationship, arena. So I picked an additional card and I got the Seven of Wands, and this is about standing your ground. And this can be as simple as not allowing yourself to get jerked around in the office place. Maybe you were promised a promotion where you were going to have a sense of power, the Queen of Wands. Maybe you were going to be a supervisor, and time just keeps ticking away and you feel like they're not doing what they promised, and you're beginning to feel like you've been had. And that kind of thing can create a sense of disillusionment. But on the other hand, it may be simply that the timing is right to leave. And this is actually a way to nudge you out of that sense of complacency and to actually do something about it. I have Taurus rising. I totally get this idea of being afraid of initiating action because you feel like it's almost like something bad's going to happen if you do that. Like you might feel like you have to wait for something to happen to you. And this only serves to keep a Taurus person in the comfort zone where maybe everything is predictable, but it doesn't guarantee that it will always be that way. When you're willing to take the initiative, then you feel like more in control of your life. Just like the magician says, it doesn't mean that you're 100% in control. That would be foolish to think that. There are other people on the planet. There are other maybe destinies for you in certain areas of life that are waiting to be the time for them to come about. So we do our part and we let go of the need to control everything. And the Seven of Wands is about, to me, it's about fighting for your right to, do things your own way. And if that means that you're not working with certain people because they haven't been honoring your rights, maybe they've been just taking advantage, then that makes sense. It's all about timing, and you will know when is the time to make your move. Okay, that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that you enjoyed that. And if you would like a private reading, I have natal chart interpretations. I have like specials, which are like that I've been promoting, like double readings, natal chart and tarot, full length readings for a special price, or just extended natal chart interpretations with extended transits. So you can check my channel, my ordering page. The link is below. Take care. Bye.